Welcome back to the Trifecta Airsoft Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you never miss another podcast. Also, do me a favor. Go on to whatever podcast app you listen to us on and give us a rating and review. That really helps us rank in the searches. Thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast.
All right. I've been all right.
Good. Welcome back. Is this your second or third time?
Yeah, third.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Rocking it. You got shit going on. You look great.
I do. Thanks. It's what a year sober is going to do to you. So next month's a 1 year sober, no alcohol.
Good for you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on that path now, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's way better. It's way better.
Yeah, for sure. I did a month before I went to Utah.
Okay.
And then we drank when we were in Utah. And
it always happens. It always happens.
Dude, I know. So,
you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for it. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to quit." You have to. Your mind has to tell you, "Hey, it's time."
Oh yeah, because there's always holidays and birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Funny thing is, I actually quit drinking 8 days before my first AA meeting. It's weird how it works.
Oh shit! So you're okay. Yeah. You're actually going to meetings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I've been to a bunch of those.
I got a bunch of updates. As you see, I moved. I'm not in my old space anymore.
Okay.
I moved. Quit the vaping completely. I was actually getting sick from it and lung-wise, so that's 3 months.
Awesome.
Marijuana, none since November of last year. I got some new toys. So we didn't get to see old baby last time, but this is her.
Okay.
This is the one we were having trouble with. This is her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome, man.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
So I built this. I built it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is built by me. It's just I was having problems with it, so I didn't have it on the last podcast.
Is that a green gas?
Yeah, or HPA. I run air with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a high kappa.
That grip is it's like the most skeletonized I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a 9-ball grip. 9-ball skeleton grip.
Crazy. Okay. Holy
and then
cow.
I said I was going to do it. I got it.
Oh, what'd you
get? I got an AAP.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
ooh.
I got the Article 1, baby. I got the Article 1.
That is awesome, man.
And I put my Bifrost in it.
Okay.
It just fits in the frame.
Yeah. Hold it up close so we can see the features of the orange part.
It's an Inferno. It's a Inferno Gen 2 MTW. It's got a speed trigger. It's a line.
Okay, dude, that looks awesome.
I just did this one. I didn't tell anybody about this one, but I did this one.
Oh, nice.
It's got an N7 in it, so it's mechanical completely with a Nova trigger.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it was a quick build. I'm like, I need to do something with spare parts I have. I'm like, I'll just do a mechanical Euro build.
Okay.
And it runs perfectly. I tried it. I have the Maple Leaf MR bucking 70 degree, and at 80 psi of pressure, I'm at 1.5 joules with this bucking.
Wow. So
I looked at my
70 degree. What is that?
Oh, it's the I don't remember exactly, but it's just like the degree of hop, I think. I'm not sure exactly.
So but everybody you look for a maple leaf bucking. What are your options? So you have a 70 degree, then you have a regular or something?
There's a 50, I think. I think there's a 50 all the way to an 80.
Okay.
So and there's 65 as well, 75. I don't know. I just was told because the N7s they double feed without an aftermarket bucking. So if you were to use the stock, Bucking, you're gonna get double feeds all over the place. It's not gonna be fun. You're not gonna get any good shots. It's not gonna hop on you either.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, that sucks.
I had to get the 70-degree bucking. I can't put the Flora pin back in this because it won't actually fire for whatever reason.
Huh.
It runs off a 3-way valve in here, and it has a trigger break point like a real firearm.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice, dude. Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
nice. I get with my paintball method. I get a nice clearance with it. You have to hold it like a paintball gun. You can't C grip it. You actually have to hold it
right
like a paintball gun because it's the Euro grip. But they don't have the reg for this anymore, so I'm stuck with the line at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
They discontinued the Storm on tank reg, and they replaced with the Category 5, which does not fit in ESG grips whatsoever.
Oh shit! So you can't put the tank on there.
No, you have to. If you want to get a nylon ESG or any ESG, I would just get a Polar Star until Monk releases a piece for the Cat 5 reg.
Okay.
So that's that. But yeah, quick little build. I don't know anything really about like degrees of bucking, so I'm like, hey, what do I get?
Oh yeah, I don't think that's the first time I've heard someone say that. So maybe that's a standard kind of.
Well, it depends on what people use. I use 70. I run 0.32 grams. So they say it was floating. It was floating. The BBs were floating. So
gotcha.
I'm just like, I don't know shit about buckings, so I just said like, okay, which one do I get? And someone told me Maple Leaf 70. I'm like, which one? And I asked Deadshot, and he's like, you got to get the MR bucking. You got to get the MR 70 degree. And that's what I got. Probably on AMP. Oh, within a week, it got delivered to my door.
Nice.
That's really it.
Yeah, dude. Those are nice though. What do you been using? The majority.
I use it. Sorry.
The majority of all those different guns. Which one do you use the most?
I carry both the Article 1 and the N7 on me, just in case something goes wrong with one of the others. I have a backup, so it's kind of like both. I finally figured out everything Sunday day of play with the N7, so I ran that every game except for the first match. I'm going to try and run the N7 more because Arca 1 eats BBs. It's like a speedball gun. It just eats. It just eats no matter what. You don't even have to try and it will just eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And photography's going well. I picked up a new camera recently. And I wrapped it. I got an A7R3 cool. And then I wrapped it with the cam skins. Red Viper.
That looks awesome. So what have you been shooting?
Yeah. Oh, bikes. I got bunch of money off it, side money. I'm making 180 to 200 every shoot. So
yeah, good.
Just shooting motorcycles. I was at Dynasty Chicago for their meetup.
Okay.
Got myself a new visor for my go-kart helmet, so I do want to get back out and try that more because I was not go-karting that much simply because I don't have time. But also the other reason is the lighting is so harsh. It's fluorescent lighting indoors, and a clear visor is great. But at the same time, I get headaches sometimes. I like running a tinted visor indoors even.
Gotcha.
Because of just how harsh the lighting can get.
Right.
Huh. Yeah.
So go-karts. Okay.
Yeah, so that's something I do it occasionally. It's just I haven't had time to go out really. I just really go out with groups, but nobody wants to go. So nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to go.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I'm actually pulling up your Instagram account right now. Do you have which one do you put your
so
your
my
on? Oh yeah, you get
the original one. So the other one is for Airsoft paintball only.
Yeah, I'm on that's right. Okay. So I got some of the newer I'm looking at some of the newer ones. A week ago. Okay. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so
Please do. Please do. Let's see, I'm going to click watch the stream. Yep, that's what the new one. That was the first that guy, fun fact about that guy, that's my buddy Connor. He's never had photos taken of his bike ever before, so first time.
Yeah.
Actually photo shoot done of his Z900. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome, man.
and we did a burnout. He needed a new pair. He needed a new set of tires anyway, so he's like, "Fuck it, we'll get a burnout shot."
That's funny.
hmm
Mr. Miyagi.
that guy, he's cool as hell. He always comments with gifts. That's just his thing.
Yeah.
And he rides a newer R6. He's a good guy though. And very cool.
Yeah, R6 or nothing. I'd
Yep,
imagine.
he's big. He's big R6 guy. Big
That
Yamaha.
makes sense. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's my buddy Jeremy. He actually lives where I moved from. Actually, fun fact. So it's like he moved to Lake Zurich last year, right?
Yeah.
And I moved to Buffalo Grove 2 years before he moved here. He was over in Palatine before.
Oh, that's funny.
um,
So how far did you move away from, like, how far of a move was it for you?
15 minutes. Really,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's still in Buffalo Grove. It's like
Yeah.
5 minutes away max. It was just down the road. But moving from Lake Zurich to Buffalo Grove was like a 20-minute max.
That ain't bad.
No,
What made
not
you
at all.
move? Just the,
Oh, no, it's just my grandparents, they're getting older, and so they're close now, so we're close
Okay.
there in case anything happens.
Okay.
Yeah, we have once a year over in it's Motorcycle Center Villa Park, we have a vintage bike show. So all the bikes there, if you want to enter, doesn't matter how cool the bike is. If it's not 25 years or older, you cannot enter it in.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. They're very
Okay.
strict on that. They don't even let H2s go in. There's no exception. H2s have to go in the parking spot unless it's an original Kawasaki H1.
Oh, my God. That's
And you
wild.
can enter
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, and that's a Ducati 916, 1997, so it's about as old as me, a year older than me.
Yeah.
So it's a 26-year-old bike.
Hell yeah. They just had a car show for old muscle cars.
Yeah.
They just had a car show not too far from where I'm at, but I wasn't able to go. I wanted to go and take
That's
pictures.
a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, that was just there. Just had a field day with it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing is worth a shit ton of money. I tell you that right now. That's how immaculate it is, man.
It looks beautiful.
You can probably get 30 grand for that right now.
It looks
I
like
don't know. Yeah.
they don't ride it. Like
No,
they just,
he
save
doesn't
it.
ride it. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
just assets. Yeah, that's some real. So that's kind of like whatchamacallit. That was kind of like someone was
Like a
hating.
compilation.
This is my event photos. Someone was hating and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'm just gonna
Oh,
drop
on
this
here?
reel. Yeah, it's just whatever. So fun fact. So that I don't photograph at that shop
Oh,
anymore.
so
where
somebody
that,
said your photos probably aren't that good?
something
Okay.
like that. It's not exactly, but it was like
Yeah.
similar. So the thing is with that shop, I don't photograph with them anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't photograph with them anymore for two reasons. One is because I'm ready to go next level. I've been with them for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's time for me to move up. Right, it's time for me to move up and just
Gotcha.
focus really on paid shoots. See, I got a camera. It's on loan. That A7 III. I did not buy it outright.
The one you have
It's
now?
on-
The one you wrapped?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
on loan. It's on loan. It's leased to own. It's not
Right.
like nobody can really, unless you have money. Nobody can drop $2,800 on a camera like that.
I was going to say, it's got to be close to
Yeah,
3
it's a
grand.
$2,800 camera, body only, no lens. I paid off that lens already.
Now, how do you, where do you find, is it online and they ship it to you? Or do you go to a local store?
So it's a place. It's a thing called Progressive ELP. So it's Progressive Lease to Own.
Yeah.
And I've used them before at like Mattress Firm and all of that with mattresses and stuff
I
like
gotcha.
that.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
you go on their website, you find retailers that use them.
Uh-huh.
So Best Buy uses them. And
okay.
there's exceptions. So they don't do it in Puerto Rico or any of the Virgin Islands or anything like that. So
Gotcha.
if you're in Puerto Rico, you have to buy it outright. You have to save your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the continental U.S., they do it, with the exception of like 1 or 2 states. But yeah, you go online through Best Buy, you do their progressive lease, you type in how much you make a month, you type in your social, and then they approve you and they tell you how much you have. So I had $2,600 that I could use, and this camera was actually marked as the A7R3. I have the A model. They didn't mark it as the A7R3A. It's just A7R3 on Best Buy's website.
Yeah. And
it was on sale. You save $800, so it was $1999.99.
Hell yeah!
So you take the price of the camera, you add how much you're allowed for lease, and that's the total you pay off. So you pay more lease to own. Sure. All the interest is built in and everything, obviously. Course, yeah. So that's why you pay like $4,000 for something that only costs like $2,800.
$2,800, right?
Yeah, but it's interest is built in.
That's how loans work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's built in. They don't charge you interest over time. They just build in right away. Okay, this is your rate. This is built into this.
Right.
And so, yeah. And so,
okay.
So your options were, so majority of the time with Progressive, you have to print out your loan agreement and you got approved and you have to give it to the person at the store.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to do all that, especially since they only had 2 left.
Yeah.
And so I was able to order online for pickup at the Schaumburg location. So Arlington Heights has nothing. So I would have gone to Arlington Heights, but they didn't have anything there.
Yeah.
So the closest pickup that had one in stock was Schaumburg. So I ordered it. I did the lease. I ordered it, and I just waited for them to say, okay, ready for pickup. And Schaumburg, I give an A+ to them for service because I ordered it when they weren't even open. And 40 minutes after I ordered it, I got a message that it was ready. And so I wait until they open because I think there was someone there who does all the orders before all the early orders.
Oh, gotcha.
I used to work retail, and so we'd have people early for freight and stuff like that before we open. So kind of like that. So that was happy to see that people still do that today in retail.
Right.
I've been out of the game for 2-3 years, but I'm glad people still have that logic.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, you get some good people that care about what they're doing.
Yeah, and then they just show up early. That's when their shift starts. They have that shift, only them.
Yeah.
And they just pick the orders and stock shelves before people come in. And then the rest of the time that they're on the shift, they just do customer service. Yeah. That's like, one guy is there anymore. He still works there. He's in his 80s, and he's a Vietnam vet and stuff like that.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And he's retired for the most part, but he just has a job just to keep some income going. His name is Jim Zaremba. And he's like in his 80s, and he lifts 80-pound chairs like he's in his 20s.
Damn.
He's fucking nuts. He's nuts.
That's
okay,
crazy.
And I used to work with him, so he would do all the freight in the morning and stuff like that, and then he'd be on the floor. He's like, "Hello, how are you?" He's like, "Oh, can I help you?" "Yeah, right this way." And he knew the whole store,
right,
like the back of his hand. Like he's like, "Okay, yeah." And he's a good guy to be around. He's like, you gotta stop doing this. You gotta stop smoking. You gotta stop vaping. You're gonna pay the piper. I'm like, I know. I gotta stop. But he works early mornings, so he works like he wakes up at 5 in the morning every day.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that at the time. Like, I don't know how you do it, but now I can do it since I wake up at 4 in the morning every day.
There you go. See.
So I do it now. I know how he does it. He's like, I just drink coffee. I just drink coffee. I come to work. I drink coffee.
Yeah. What kind of work do you do now?
Oh, I work at same place I've been working at for the last podcast at the Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I do that still, 4 days a week. So
do you have to go in early? Like, do you have to be there early? Is that why you get up at 4?
Yeah, 5 o'clock is when we start.
Oh wow. Whew.
Yeah, we work 5 a.m. to 3:30 Monday to Thursday, and we have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So
okay.
Fridays, I'm like, hey, if you want to get photo shoots in, I have spots available, and I usually get 1 or 2 all weekend, so I make like $300 a weekend on the side.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
And so, that guy, that's my buddy he's from Slovakia, actually.
Okay.
He's from Slovakia, so he came here, he had his CBR 600, he had his Husqvarnas, and then he had, first time I actually snapped a photo of his bike, he had an Aprilia, actually, an RSV4.
Oh, wow.
An RSV4. I think it's just an R or what, I don't remember, but yeah, he sold that and he got the KTM 500 SMC. So he likes that bike a lot more. He can dick around on it. It's not too much power. He can wheelie it if he wants, as you see.
Okay.
And I got that first try. I pushed my camera to the limits that day. I'm like, okay, let's see if I can push it to the limit. And so I cranked my ends all the way open, wide open, so the most light came in.
Yeah.
And he was going pretty fast. He's probably doing a wheelie at about 40 miles an hour right there.
Whoa.
And I just panned. I just went like that.
Yeah.
And I looked through it, and that one was in focus. So I got it on the first try, pushing my camera to the limit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
It has the tracking autofocus, so you can adjust how sensitive the tracking is.
Yeah.
You can go 1, which is locked on, or you can go to the highest, which is like very sensitive. So stuff like that you want locked on. So I just keep it at 1. Let's say they're rolling in, I'll half press the shutter button, a green box will show up around them, and that green box will stay with the subject the whole time as they're moving. So it's really good. It's called 4D focus is what it's called.
Okay. Because I was going to guess that this was like when he first popped it, right? When he first came
That was in the middle. No, that was in the middle.
That's wild. That's
so he was
clear.
he was about like 8 o'clock right there, 7 o'clock-ish. So, yeah, it was a pretty high wheelie.
Yeah,
so,
it is. Haters
will say it's Photoshop.
Do they really?
No, it's just a joke. I had to drop the meme in there.
Okay.
Haters will say Photoshop. Yeah, haters will say Photoshop.
I remember when girls started posting their stuff on Instagram, all the older fat women started saying, "Oh, those are photoshopped or whatever." I'm like, not all of them. Like, you go to the beach, there's girls that actually look like that. There's like 22-year-olds that actually have a good body and a tan and look, their skin looks good. Like,
maybe spray tan or tanning booth tan, but it's still tan.
shit, they're out in a lot of these girls, like in Florida and stuff, they're out in the sun all the time.
Oh yeah,
they
especially during spring
like
break.
That in person. Now they might have a filter on or something on the camera, but it barely does anything. Like, they really look a lot like that. And these girls are like, no, I'm like, dude, you're just because you're old and fat. Shut up. Okay, I'm just jealous.
Oh my god, anything goes here. Anything goes here. Anything goes.
I mean, hey, we're talking truth, okay? I'm just saying.
That is truth, yeah.
Ladies, if you don't want to if you don't want to feel bad looking at other women's pictures, and you think you want to talk like they're fake or whatever, just go get your ass in shape and see if you can make yourself look like that. If you work hard enough, you can.
Motivate yourself.
Work smart, and you can, and then you won't talk like that anymore. You won't feel inferior. Okay,
just motivate yourself
anyway. But
no, nobody should feel inferior. That's not how to live a good life.
Not at all, man. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I quit.
Nice,
like
that picture looked awesome.
Yeah, and so I had my doctor. My doctor said I'm all good and everything like that. Lung function sounds amazing too. So
awesome.
I'm glad. With all the vaping I did, I would vape a shit ton on the podcast. You've seen it.
Yeah, I know.
I was every 5-10 minutes. I was just sneaking the vape.
Yeah, talking about 5-10 minutes. It's like 30 seconds, bro.
Oh my god! It's just
in between each sentence, you're hitting that thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we use the Rogue pouches now. We use the Chinos and stuff like that. So
what is it?
These are it's a Rogue nicotine pouches. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It works for me. It's not for everybody, but it works. So
yeah, that's cool
for me at least. It tastes good too. It's berries.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So
I had quit smoking a long time ago, and I never went back. I never could do the
e-cigarettes,
dip, and I couldn't do vapes.
Yeah, it's bad.
So
I don't know how I still did it. It was just like I'm surprised I didn't get pneumonia because they say people who vape are more susceptible to pneumonia because of all that
the moisture
shit that gets in your lungs. Yeah, it's not just.
And...
I saw a video from one of the hospitals there in the USA, right? And they talked about the dangers of smoking on the lungs, right? And they had actual like smokers' lungs and healthy lungs from like cadavers. And they're like, this is a smoker's lung, and like this is what happens, and then you have the basic stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then they talked about vaping. They're like, while you're not producing tar, you're not inhaling tar, you are inhaling other stuff, and it can cause pus to form, other liquids, blood to get caught inside the bronchioles. I'm like, oh. I was like,
Did you see the? Did you see the?
uh,
Was it last year, 2 years ago, or something? A couple years ago, they had for vaping. They had the. They were talking about the risks for the menthol vape,
yes, no, I
menthol
don't.
liquid.
Yeah, no, it's still just as bad as menthol cigarettes.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Some
like
kind of crystal thing or something. I don't
crystallizes in
know.
the lungs, crystallizes in the lungs when you go into
Uh-huh.
space. Yep,
That's
that's
wild.
with all menthol. And I heard about that EVALI shit that happened, like that
What
electronic
is that?
vaping lung. It's like that lung illness that people are causing. They were blaming
Oh,
vaporizers on it.
yeah.
Sorry. Um, it was really black market THC cartridges that were the issue. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
kids were buying these dank vapes and stuff like that, all these fake ass carts, and they were because what happens is the dealer doesn't have enough actual THC oil to put in the cartridge, and he's like, I
Yeah.
need a filler. So they put vitamin E acetate and they put all this other shit in it. Vitamin E acetate's what's in lotion. It's good for the
Right.
skin. It's good for the skin, but inhaling,
Yeah, well, I mean, with chemistry, right? You have
yeah,
certain things like maybe vitamin E is good. Like there's a vitamin like a pill you can take, right?
yeah, vitamin E,
For
yeah.
vitamin E. But maybe when you heat it up through a vape, like you're not supposed to,
hmm It's vitamin E acetate. Yeah,
moisturize it in your lungs.
no, it causes permanent damage. And so what
Oh,
happening
that's
is
crazy.
these kids also use Juul, which by the way, if you vape and you're watching this and you have a Juul, toss that shit, get a Posh, because Juuls can cause pancreas problems now because they're owned by Big Tobacco. They put whatever the fuck they want in these pods.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, so these kids were juuling,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh, I vape," because they didn't want to get their ass beat by their parents for smoking fucking bad weed cartridges. And they were in the hospital with this illness from the weed cartridges, and they used that as a scapegoat. So my mom was freaking out. She had me toss all my e-liquid out. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was worried I was going to get lung. I'm like, no, it's not that. And lo and behold, the FDA and the CDC found out it was from the black market THC cartridges, not the
Yeah.
nicotine vaporizers. So I just went back on it after that was declared by the CDC.
Now what? And then how long you been off of vaping? November, you said?
3 months. 3
Okay.
months.
Oh, okay.
3 months. And I'm still coughing, as you can see. It's just like my doctor
Yeah.
said that's going to happen months to years from now. You still wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
experience that. Because I was worried I was getting cancer or something forming because e-cigarettes are worse than smoking now.
Hmm.
And my grandmother, I never met her. She smoked a shit ton, and she got lung cancer at 42 and died.
Oh,
So I was like worried, man. I was like, oh
yeah.
my God, am I gonna die at 42? Am I not gonna? And so I quit that. And then I went to my doctor, and he's like, hey, your lungs sound normal. There's nothing wrong with it. And I talked to him about it. He's like, oh, we don't usually scan for lung cancer until about age 55 and stuff like that. And he's like, the vaping's still pretty new. Just if
You know
you good
what's
thing you
the
quit
crazy
now.
thing too is, yeah, is that, and that's good. That's good because you're still
hmm
in your 20s. But most of the time, people they they think they don't think that far ahead. Like
No, they
especially in your
don't.
20s. Like when you're 22 and you hear about like, oh, that might hurt you when you're 42. You don't really go, oh no, I need to do something
No, it's
because it
because
sounds so far away.
a lot of these people don't have a history of cancers in their family, or
Well,
in
we
my
have a
case,
hard time.
alcoholics. Yeah, we
I
have a
think we
hard
have
time
a hard
grasping it.
time as people to. I think we have a hard time focus or looking into the future, like
Right,
planning ahead, thinking that far ahead, because
right,
everything in our DNA says is still kind of set in caveman times, like
right.
hunting, gathering, survival kind of shit,
Yeah.
and that's all like right here, right now.
Right.
And you talk
Fight or
about
flight. Fight or flight. Yeah.
20 years from now, you might get something wrong with your lungs if you're vaping. You're like,
And that's
and
what
Like,
That's
dude,
what
the world might
old
end
man
before
James
that.
said.
You know?
That's what old man Jim said. You're gonna pay the piper later on. Just stop now.
Yeah. It's
So now I replace the alcohol and the vaping with just the nicotine pouches and an unhealthy energy drink addiction. I rather have a heart issue that we know can be fixed rather than terminal lung cancer at
what's your
42.
favorite energy drink?
Oh, I like. You can't get in the USA, so I import it.
Holy shit!
Monster Energy, the Doctor.
What's the doctor?
Like
I'm gonna have to
Valentino
look this up.
Rossi. The MotoGP guy, Valentino Rossi, from Italy.
No.
Oh, Valentino Rossi. They call him the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
So that's his variety of monster.
Really?
That's the one right there.
Ooh, that
Not
looks
Rehab,
cool,
but
man.
the one with the sun and the moon,
On
right?
the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. So that's his. That's because his nickname was the Doctor.
Okay.
So you cannot
that nickname.
You can't. Oh, I don't know. I think he was like so surgical with his maneuvers, like undertaking people. He's so surgical. They call him the Doctor.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you cannot get that in the USA. They have it on the Monster Energy website, but you cannot get that in the United States of America. That's a Europe and Japan only release.
Do they explain why?
I don't know.
Is it too?
I don't know
much
why.
caffeine?
It's just no. It's still 160 milligrams caffeine. It's standard, but it's just I don't know why. It's just one of those like, oh, we only release it in Europe.
Releases.
Yeah, or only in Europe. Same with the Lewis Hamilton. So I have an importer that I go through from England that get a bunch of it, but they're out of stock right now. So I had to go through eBay and find someone from Canada who had a bunch.
Oh, okay.
And I paid less. So I paid 124 for 2 cases of 12. Whereas I would have paid with my importer 124 for 1 case after shipping and tax. So I saved money. Okay. But yeah, they're out of stock. So they're out of stock right now on my importer. So I had to act fast because I had my last can Saturday.
Oh shit, okay. So how many of those do you drink a day?
Oh, just one.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, so I'll have one before work because I wake up at 4 in the morning. I just can't quit the energy drinks right now until I get a new job where I wake up at a normal time.
So not only that, but you've quit all this other stuff,
right? Yeah,
and
I'd rather have an energy drink
addiction. Going in steps, right? Well, it's
I'd rather
like,
just have that.
I mean, these guys, when my sons were in football, their last year in high school, I mean, they played football all through high school, but their last year, they were close with one of the coaches. Was one of the lifting coaches and stuff. He was the offensive line coach, and they and he was he went to Furman University.
Okay,
was really really good. I think he played for the Washington Redskins. He went to NFL.
Okay.
And came back home to South Carolina, taught at the high school.
Yeah,
was one of the coaches, and then this dude would drink like 6 a day. I'm not shitting.
I know people who drink like 2 scoops of pre a day. They were lifting like hundreds of pounds, fucking deadlift and benching.
Oh yeah,
like 300 and squatting like 200.
Say this dude was still big. Okay, he was I don't know 6'8", and 340 pounds.
There you go. You don't have to really worry about.
I mean, talk about high energy, man. Like it worked for him. Okay. But I always thought, dude, I hope you're, putting some water.
Your ticker,
some water. So what I'll do? Well, the big thing is with this, and this is the most common problem that energy drinkers, people that drink energy drinks, constantly.
You're gonna trigger
the biggest problem.
Right now,
number
man.
one
You're
thing
gonna trigger
is dehydration because they don't fill in with water, and this stuff zaps your water. You don't even realize it.
No, and, you don't.
Yeah, so
it's like soda. It's the same idea.
Yeah, you gotta fill some water in there. You gotta put.
So what I'll do,
40 ounces, at least 60 ounces of water a day.
Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll have that one. I'll have an energy drink in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Then what I do now, instead of having a can of Mountain Dew on my breaks, I'll have tea.
There you go.
I make tea that tastes like a cinnamon roll at work. It's black tea with cinnamon, It's
You bring your own
cinnamon
tea
black
bag?
tea.
Okay.
No, they have it. They have it at work. They have
Oh.
coffee and tea at work in the
Nice,
cafeteria.
nice. Okay.
So what I do, I have cinnamon black tea,
Yeah.
and then I'll put Coffee Mate vanilla, French vanilla in it, like 4 long scoops of that,
Mm.
and I'll mix it up, and it tastes like cinnamon roll.
Okay.
I don't like the taste of plain coffee or plain tea. It's just like ugh, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if I'm making regular tea, I'm putting honey and sugar and all that type of stuff in it to mask that tea flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wuss.
I just never. I've tried both. I'll drink.
Okay?
Hot green tea is good. Hot green
Yeah,
tea
it
is
is.
very good.
Yeah.
I was at Hibachi one time when I was younger, and I got a migraine or something like that middle of the thing. So I'm like, oh my god. My mom's like, oh, we'll get you green tea. I'm like, there's ginseng caffeine. My mom's like, I don't care. That helps. It was like 8 p.m. at night, and I just drank the hot tea, and it worked. And I took some Advil when I got home, and I just went to bed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It promotes.
I'll drink. Yeah.
Caffeine's supposed to help with those headaches because.
Yeah, but if you have too much caffeine, it gives you a headache.
Exactly. Isn't that weird? But I think it
It's
does
like-
something with
it's
your
like
capillaries,
nicotine.
like blood flow.
No, it's like
And it
nicotine.
helps.
Like nicotine is good for you in moderation. I'm not telling anybody here who's underage to start nicotine whatsoever. It's addictive, but nicotine. I heard on another podcast, nicotine's actually good for you, but too much, obviously, you get headaches and stuff like that. But
Right. Well, we have. I forget what they're called. I think they're called nicotinic
receptors, yeah.
in our gut.
Potatoes have nicotine in them,
Right.
a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
it
you're
is
consuming
in our food and whatever.
Yeah. It's just you don't even know it because nobody knew until it was revealed. Hey, there's trace amounts of nicotine in our fruit, in our potatoes. Why do you think people love potatoes, mashed potatoes, so much? I'm a big mashed potato guy. I'm a big mashed potato guy.
Hell yeah.
Especially with garlic and cheese. Oh.
I was gonna say, did you put cheese? Yeah, get the cheese.
Yeah,
on it and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or like if you go to Outback and they have the mashed potatoes with the skin still on it. Oh, it's perfect,
dude. Yeah, I love that.
Oh my god, it's the best.
I did.
Yeah, that's my go-to energy drink right there. It's
That's
very good. It's a you can order it off the importer's website. I mean, just prepare to pay $7 per can because it's being imported to USA from England.
Woo!
Yeah. But it tastes really good. It's very light, so it's not too carbonated. It's kind of like a juice monster almost. There's some juice in it. It's very citrusy, refreshing. So it's a good energy drink to have on a hot day.
Yeah.
Because of the flavor.
Plus, the can looks badass.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been meaning to just wash out a can and then put epoxy in it and just have it display, but I keep forgetting. I keep tossing.
The one that I like, the monster, if I have to choose a monster, it's going to be the Zero, the
white one. That's pretty decent. I'm not usually a fan of the flavor of it.
Yeah.
But the last one I had was pretty good, actually. I've had the white one plenty of times before, and
this one right here.
Yes, the white one, the Ultra Zero. I remember when I was at Auto Show with my dad one time. We went. Or something, right? I didn't have any caffeine at all that day. And I'm like, Dad, can I please have a monster? Can I please have a monster? He's like, no. I'm like, oh no, I haven't had any caffeine all day, whatever. I don't drink them that often. He's like, oh, in one moment. He calls my mom. Calls my mom up, and I overhear, yeah, you can only give him the one with the less caffeine, blah, 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 blah. My dad's like, okay, you can have the white one. And that's it.
Nice. Yep.
Because they put, at the time, they put only 140 milligrams of caffeine in the white one. Now it's 150. Okay. Now it's 150.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I was allowed to have the Zero Ultra.
Okay.
In my dad's presence. He doesn't condone these at all, even though I'm 25 now. He's like, still, like, you're stupid. You're going to get a heart attack. But, I'm 25.
So, look. This is not in that can. I forget how many ounces is in that can.
16.
Yeah, 16. Okay.
So the thing is with the Valentino Rossi,
8 ounce cup of coffee has 80 milligrams.
That's like Red Bull. That's Red Bull right there. Caffeine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is the same. It's the exact same.
Yeah.
It's like
my
Starbucks.
My Starbucks. When I did have Starbucks, I may have a pumpkin spice latte sometime during the season. I don't care. It's just obligatory to have one every October for me. I'm not a basic white bitch by any means, but it's obligatory for me to have one. When I become basic white bitch in Christmas, but they don't have it anymore. The eggnog latte, they don't have it anymore.
Oh, they don't have it.
And fuck you, Starbucks, for that because you discontinued it.
I wonder why.
So I had to get chestnut praline. I don't know why. They just decided to discontinue it, even though it was their best-selling winter drink. And it was like, we're not having it anymore. Yeah, it's just no more.
Huh.
And my buddy, he's a big Starbucks guy. Granted, he's flamboyant as shit, and he only spends his money on Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't know how he affords his freaking Jeep and all that with how much money he spends on Starbucks. He's like, oh, yeah, they have the eggnog latte. Oh, my God. I'm like, really? Where? He's like, oh, I had it at Starbucks. I just went. They had it. I'm like, whatever. And I look, and they don't have it. I'm like, you're done. You're done. They don't have it.
Misinformation. Oh no.
You're canceled. You're done. He started cracking up on Snap. He started cracking up.
That is funny, dude. Now, what's this black? I don't think I've ever had this ultra black.
Ultra black. They don't sell that in the USA anymore. They don't sell that in the USA anymore.
Okay.
It's black cherry. I can't find it anywhere.
That's so weird how they like these companies.
They'll have stuff. So Ultra Black was in the U.S. market for years. Then they don't have it anymore. But you see, it's on the website right there.
Yeah, right.
It's on the website. But fun fact, though, so the Valentino Rossi can is actually taller than the American cans.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
what is it?
You have a regular can. It's like
17 ounces instead of 16.
It's rough. It's like 17 ounces at most. It's like 16 and a half. It's like 550 milliliters. They go by milliliters because they don't use freedom units. They don't use freedom units in the UK.
Freedom units, yes.
So they go by milliliters instead of ounces.
Yeah, they can't use our system.
No, they use 500 milliliters.
I gotcha. So this one is so can you order it off of here? Is that what it is?
I don't think you can. It's just what they showcase on their website. You can't. Oh, you can press buy now. It looks like you can.
Okay. So this
behind the claw. Did you see that video of like the one overly Christian lady talking about how the monster is the devil basically? There was a video. He's all seen it. She had the BFC.
I saw it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So I just enjoy the caffeine rush. I didn't know it's satanic. Like, come on now.
Right. Well, it makes you wonder.
It's crazy.
Well, I'm going to
tell you wonder because the claw, if you go into the Hebrew language, that's 666 right there.
Exactly.
And then so unleash the beast, and then you have that one line in between the O, and you turn it upside down. That's an upside down cross now.
Yep.
And she saw the cross. She's like, oh, maybe it's a Christian company, but it's not. Do you know what BFC stands for? Big fucking can. So they're not Christian. So they even say it on the thing. They're not Christian.
Yeah. Well, that was now when that video first came out years ago. When I first heard about, I don't know about the video coming out, but when that information came out, when people started talking about, because I had heard about this before this video came out with this lady, so I just kind of discounted it. I was like, okay, people are just talking, whatever. Yeah. But over the last 2 years, all the crap we've seen with the corrupt rich people and politicians and the sacrificial rooms. Have you seen these?
I've heard of it.
These Satan worshiping rooms, like
I've heard
halls and stuff, where they've gone in and they've seen. It's like there's a lot more that has come out to kind of reveal. Right. A lot of this shit is true. So
and a lot of the whole thing with the pedophilia is true too.
Right. And that's
look at Joe Biden. He's a perfect example. Dude. Oh my God.
He's horrible.
He's horrible. Yes.
It's not even. And him, have you seen the old pictures of him? The original.
Yeah. No, it's not him. That's not him. That's someone else.
Jamie Foxx is dead, bro. People say.
They say Eminem is dead too, and he's cloned.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. But
You've heard that?
Jamie
No,
Foxx had
so
that heart attack, or whatever.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
got
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
then there was all this hush hush. Like his family couldn't even like tweet, about like in the hospital and shit. And then all of
Right,
a sudden, there's a video released with supposedly him. It's not him. It is not him
right,
talking like, yeah, I'm back and I'm doing well. It don't sound like him. It don't. The shape of his skull is totally different. Okay,
right.
like people say, oh no, it's just because he was sick and he lost weight. No, no, no. You don't. Your skull doesn't shrink when you lose weight. Okay,
No,
I'm just telling you, bro. Like your forehead doesn't go
no.
down.
They said so. Here's the thing with Eminem. They say he's cloned.
Oh, I believe it.
They say he's
Well, they
cloned
all
because
have
you know how
doubles. They all have
Eminem.
doubles.
You know how Eminem had a drug problem, right?
Okay.
So they say he actually overdosed,
Ah.
and they cloned him. And so, but I can actually, as someone who's been in recovery and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like I looked way chubbier back when I was drinking versus
Yeah.
now. Like I look like a shell of my former self, and that's like with
Oh
Eminem.
yeah. That's why I said you look great, man. You look like you lost weight.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're not. You're not
I
puffy.
still I gained a bunch of it back, but you just can't tell. It's not in the face anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
That's a classic sign of people drinking. Like hard liquor
right.
and beer is the puffy face.
Yeah, and so Eminem. So they say this conspiracy theory, and I don't believe it's a theory because I'm in recovery and he was in recovery too.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy theory is he overdosed off the Vicodin and he got cloned because he looks different, he sounds different. No, he was what, in his teens when he started rapping?
Yeah.
And Slim Shady
He was
LP
young.
was like what? He was in the early 20s and stuff like that.
Right.
And there's no way a clone, unless it's like pinpoint exact, knows the exact history of like, oh, he's on encore, I was on drugs, relapse, I was flushing him out. No clone would be able to say that.
Mm.
And a lot of people say, oh yeah, his face looks different, everything, he's so sunken in. I'm like, no, that's what happens when you recover from drugs.
It is.
You
Yeah.
you look older. Like he's 50 right now, and he looks like he's 60. Look at Pete Weber, the bowler. Pete Weber used to be an alcoholic and a coke addict. Pete Weber's
Really.
only in his late 50s.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 75 because of all the coke he did.
Let's look it up.
Yeah. Pete Weber. American bowler. Yep. So that's him now. He's only 61. And look how old he looks. That's from coke and alcohol.
Yeah.
He was
it
literally,
ruins your body,
he was
man.
able, well, there was a time, he said it, where he was actually blacked out. He was on a bender, blacked out from coke, and he still
Yeah.
bowled in a tournament. And he doesn't
He
remember
doesn't remember
shit.
it. Yeah.
No. And he
I believe
scored well. He scored well, too.
It's probably the best night of his life. He don't even remember.
Yeah. He was on a bender and stuff like that, and he was on a bender doing drugs. But if you look at old Pete Weber, he does not look like that.
Yeah.
That's just
Well, I
all
mean,
the
there's some
drugs. He's
older-
only 61.
Yeah.
See, that's... Yep, that's him.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, it does.
Pete Weber.
We've all known, I mean, you can always tell when somebody's, on drugs or, it's
Right. But
the,
it's the
it's
conspiracy.
classic, right?
The conspiracy
Well,
with Eminem
look,
is he died from the overdose and he
the
cloned.
thing is, they don't even need to do clones
No.
when it comes to that. They don't have to do clones. All these actors have doubles. They all have
Yeah, they
doubles.
have doubles
This
for when
is
they go
part
out
of
in public.
This is the
and,
normal
yeah.
part of the thing. So, Biden, all the politicians had one for years
Right.
because they would, for security purposes. They never thought to use it as a, propaganda thing
Until now.
until way later. Like it's probably been going on for quite a few years, to be honest.
This is not Biden. This is Biden. This is what Biden is.
Mhm.
This is Biden, not Biden. Biden.
I mean, it is for him, for sure. It's not even close. What
No.
what he looks like, what he used to look like the real Biden.
Right.
And they've got a video of his granddaughter or something, or niece or something like that, saying, "Oh no, my grandfather died like years ago." Like everyone knows.
What the fuck?
But
What?
they all have doubles, dude. This whole thing is a show.
You
It's
think Jeffrey
entertainment.
Epstein is still alive, or is that actually he's dead?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
want to. I don't know because this is kind of because Jeffrey Epstein was kind of a sensitive topic because he was a child molester and a trafficker and all that. I get it,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
it's not.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
weird.
mean, it's.
That's weird. They're listening in on us.
Yeah, did you see that flash?
Yeah, that flash. No, they're tapped in on us. This is a podcast. This is nothing bad. Okay, whoever's
No,
fucking listening in on us, okay, get the fuck out of here.
no, it's
That was
cool. They
weird.
can
That was
listen.
weird.
I mean, this
That's
is gonna go
like
out.
I learned that. I learned that from my buddy in England, right? He goes by I don't know his real name. He goes by Night Tracer, right?
Yeah.
And he used to ride bikes and stuff like that, but he's like really gave up on it because the Jakes, as he calls the police out, the Jakes were looking for him
Mm-hmm.
actively. And he was talking a thing, and it went out. It sounded like connection went out, right?
Yeah.
And what that's actually not what he told me. Oh yeah, once you say certain words on different platforms, the bots, the AI that's in these programs automatically like that when you say certain
Yeah.
words, and it just they listen in to see if you're talking about anything bad.
Right. Right.
And crazy enough, after I mentioned Epstein, that happened.
Right.
I mean, nothing bad. We're just talking about conspiracy theories, okay? Whoever's listening in, this is just general debate, general talk.
Oh, I don't care.
This
I
is
don't care if they're listening. I don't care if they.
this is airsoft. This is not real. Let's take BBs.
But even that doesn't even make sense. You
No.
know, we've talked about that before. Like a bunch of people have
Right.
talked. You know, it's I follow a handful of channels on or pages on Instagram that
Right. Yeah.
are they're actively showing videos from the war and
Yeah.
people getting blown up from a landmine or a rocket and shooting
Right.
and with real guns, and they're still
Yep.
allowed to post it. So it has nothing to do, as far as airsoft pages go, it has zero to do with you know, somebody saying, oh, don't worry, it's not a real gun. Because, like, look, maybe you should say it's a real gun because then it won't get canceled. I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
For some reason, they act like airsoft
That's only
is
TikTok.
so...
That's only TikTok that does that. Instagram's fine. I've never gotten a strike or
Okay.
anything like that. Instagram's fine. Twitter's X now. X is fine.
Yeah, X is...
Blue Sky Social.
Oh, what's that?
So a lot of here's the thing. So Blue Sky Social, a lot of NSFW Twitter pages are going to that now. Mostly the gay NSFW pages are going to that now. All the furries and the gay stuff and everything. They're going there because they can't interact as much anymore because Elon Musk put the limit on how many messages you can send a day and stuff like that. And a lot of these NSFW pages, they're obviously like porn pages and stuff like that. They're like OF models basically. And
okay.
they whatchamacallit, they have 20, 30, 40,000 followers.
Okay.
Sometimes over 100, so they can't mess a certain amount a day or go through a certain amount of tweets per day or comment. So it's for now, unless you get the verified. So Elon wants you to pay to be able to do unlimited. Kind of like a phone service. Kind of like a phone service.
Yeah, yeah. I gotcha.
So they're going to Blue Sky Social now, so they can that's the alternate, and so they can post their lewds on there without any limits or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I never heard of it. I mean, there's a handful of ones out there, right, that have tried.
Yeah, it's like I know there's Truth Social, obviously.
Truth, right? I'm on
Rumble, obviously. Rumble, we're on Rumble.
I post all these on Rumble. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We're on
My
Rumble.
new podcast will be only on. It won't be on YouTube.
Okay.
My new one.
Okay. Yeah, my buddy uses Rumble. He's like, oh, I have that on podcast.
Well, I actually started a YouTube channel for it. I haven't posted anything on there yet.
Right.
But I'm not gonna do it on YouTube. I'm not even gonna make the effort on there because I feel like what I'll be talking about, it's gonna be a little political.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be all political. It's gonna be about the trying to get people involved in their local elections. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, as an example, most people don't know this. Most people only vote in the general election for the president. Okay, they don't even know. They don't even, if you say, "Hey, the primary election," they're like, "Yeah, that's the one in November." Like, no, it's not. So it's
your local government.
It's the one. So if you had 10 Democrats running
Right.
and 10 Republicans running for, let's say, president or governor or senator.
Yeah.
Well, they won't put all 10 of those in the general election in November. It's too many.
They won't.
Okay.
It's too many.
So you got to have a pre-election to weed those out.
Yeah.
And that way it goes down to 1 for each party. Okay. And that's what you vote on in the general.
Yeah,
so
my dad's told me about that. How it's like they have multiple candidates and then it narrows down to 1 who's on based on vote. So yeah.
Now here's the issue: the problem that with it, the reason that people don't know about all these other candidates is because they don't pay attention to the primaries.
Right, they don't.
So, and then they go, "Oh, this is our only option for the president, for a Democrat."
No, it wasn't.
No. You had a choice. You had a choice. You had an option, but the politicians, don't want you to know about the primaries.
Right.
Do you ever hear anything? No one ever hears about, hey, go vote in September, because that's usually when or June or August.
Well, I think
it's after August, because I think August 2nd is the deadline for if you're going to run for that particular party. So no one ever talks about, no one even knows. Most people don't even know. I'll give you an example. So the last presidential election, 2020, just for South Carolina voter turnout for the general election, the bigger one, right?
Right.
For all the states in America, it was really high voter turnout. It was like almost 70%. That's really high. As far as history goes, that's really high. The primary, which was in September, it was less than 20%.
Oh my God.
In some states, it was 70. I think Alabama, it was 70 for the general election. And in September for the primary, they had a lot of options. They had all these different people running for different, it was 11%, 11.2% voter turnout. This means that nobody knows about the primaries, bro, which means those other candidates aren't getting any exposure. No one gets to know. No one gets to hear about them. No one gets to know about them. Now it's our job to go look it up. Mm-hmm. It's our job to go research, and that's our duty, is to go research this stuff. But anyway, so that podcast is going to be. I was going to do it on YouTube, but it's going to be too political
for YouTube.
Yeah, which is bullshit. But that's so I'm not even gonna worry. I'm not even gonna try to put it on here, bro.
Right.
I don't
feel like Rumble. Yeah.
Uploading it and then it just gets canceled or it gets taken down or some other bullshit. And election interference, because we're talking about. I'm trying to make people aware of, voting for your mayor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, the problem here in Illinois is no matter who you vote for, Chicago is in the blue wall. Yeah. So Chicago has the say on what color the state goes. It was weird. There we had that one weird election.
I understand
where Rauner won.
What I'm saying is, I think there's hope. I really do. I'm going to tell you, man. Honestly, today I might be hopeful. Like, hey, we can turn this around.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'm going to be like, nope, it's too late.
Yeah.
We're going to civil war. Okay.
Right.
But I really do. Deep down, I really believe it's not too late. I think they want us to believe it's too late. And we don't, and they don't want us to get involved. But what if the primaries, what if all throughout the year, starting in January, okay, it was 80% voter turnout, 80% involvement of each state. So we had, 4 million registered voters in, let's say, South Carolina. I think we had 3 million or something, 3.2.
Yeah.
What if we had that many involved in each of their local elections, for the representatives, for the city council, for the mayor, for the sheriff? That's an elected office.
Yep.
For some of your judges, those are elected offices. Who's in charge? I forget the title, but who's in charge? Like the civil engineer, that's in charge of the, what's getting built or how it's getting built in your city. What if we had 80% turnout, 80% involvement, and everyone was starting to get involved at that level? Then Chicago might not have such a big impact, because the whole state from all the way down here, and now we might get some better people at the bottom that
Yes.
move up. It's going to take years that move up into those spots, and
Yep.
hopefully they don't get corrupt by the time they get up there. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
same thing. Power creates corruption. Money is the root of all evil.
It's
That's the big thing now, especially today.
Yeah.
Money is the root of all evil. Once you introduce money, that's when shit hits the fan. You cannot. You got to stay humble. You got to manage your money.
Be humble,
You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Agreed. And I think that a big problem is that parents years ago stopped teaching their kids a character. Like
Right.
when I was growing up, like this saying would be talked about all the time. Like, what do you stand for? Like what, and that means, what do you believe in? What do you stand for? What, and it's not, it was never money. Like, oh yeah, I just want money. Like, that's so empty, bro.
It's
Like,
an empty
there's
thing,
nothing
yeah.
back in that. Okay. So that's very superficial. It was always about character. It was always about doing better.
Personality.
Hey, I want to make people better. So I want to be an inspiration to somebody. I want to help kids. I want to, help the planet. I want to, like, what are you focused on to do well at that you're going to leave your family and people around you and the planet better than when you were born? Okay.
Right.
And people aren't, no one's focused on that. They're all just give me
all,
the money, man.
It's all the likes, the money, the popularity. It's all the, all this superficial shit, but they don't realize
it's empty.
What you post on Instagram is only a snapshot of what you do. Like, I post my bikes on the one Instagram and I post my airsoft on the other. That's only a glimpse of what I'm doing as an airsofter, photographer, paintballer. Like, you just see me with either my skull mask or whatever. My mask is like, oh, this guy's fucking scary with all this gear. No, there's a little kid. He's watching. His name's Domino. That's his call sign, right?
Yeah.
And I basically look after him every Sunday at the park. He's paintballer, but he does airsoft now. And I just basically look after him and stuff like that and make sure he's doing okay. I traded my Polar Star. That's how I got this. This was his. Before. Shockingly. Is a 12-year-old had an Article 1. He doesn't like this. He didn't like this whatsoever. So I'm like, oh, we want to, because I like the Wolverines, how they shoot. I'm like, you want to just trade for a round? He's like, yeah.
What does
he likes my Polar Star. He likes the Polar Star better.
Gotcha.
He likes the Polar Star better. He likes how that shoots. So he doesn't like how this thing performs. He's like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I'm like, okay, we'll trade for a round. I'm like, do you want to trade? I'm like, do you want to trade? He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, you want to trade? He's like, yeah, I don't like how this thing works. I'm like, shake on it. We shook on it. So I got the better end of the deal, but he got something he loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also got something he loved.
That's good.
And he likes better. And so that's what's most important.
That's cool, man.
So, yeah. I got the Arc 1.
Speaking of that, like the, having something to be involved in, like character and all that, like that interaction, Airsoft is a lot of these Airsoft events. It's a lot of like doing well, like you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing, hey, I'm going to help you. Here, try this out, and I'll be a part of our family, be a part of our team, be a part of this community.
And the thing is, I'm on the sister team, so he's on Ghost Crew Rodents for paintball. Okay. They also do airsoft as well too. Not many people know, but they also do airsoft as well too.
Gotcha.
I'm on Animals, which mainly paintball. Their main focus is paintball, but I play airsoft too, and it's like their sister. Animals is their sister team. We have all ranges, so I couldn't do my number 69, sadly, or 420 because we have kids. They don't need to know what that means yet. They don't even know. They don't need to know what 69 means until.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they do, but it's just the image. It's the image.
The internet's been out for a while.
Yeah, no, it's just the image. It's like you can't have this number. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just do number 23 since I was a sneakerhead too as well. Jordan number 23. So
Jordan, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So my number is 23. Official team number is 23, but if I'm not on a team, I'm number 69. So I did that as kind of a joke now. But the funny thing with that is when I played paintball, so guys, they're like a semi-pro team now, KC Missouri All-Stars, right?
Yeah.
And so back before they became semi-pro, they were like D3, D2, right? So they were selling jerseys. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have money for this one right now. He's selling it. A guy named Todd. He's selling it for $90. And I'm like, okay, I'll get one next time. And he messaged me one day. He's like, hey, I got a jersey for you. I got you on number 69. And he was selling blanks normally, but he decided to give me a number for sale. He got me a number 69, just no name on the back of it, since I'm not actually a Missouri All-Star.
Yeah.
So I don't get my name on the back, just a number. And that's where 69 came from. And so I just put 69 in any jersey I bought. But now it became a running joke.
Right.
And Lil Domino, too, is before he got an Airsoft and I was looking after him. He's like, why is your number 69 carbon? I'm like, what do you think? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, he's a good kid, though. He's still got a lot to learn, and he's got some silly questions per se, but he's just started playing Airsoft, so...
That's cool.
I have a little more patience than most people on our local field with him, but...
Yeah.
You know, I have to look after him as a person on the sister team who also plays Airsoft as well.
Well, the first podcast I did, where I did a live stream.
Right.
When we first got back from Utah, and I had taken a break from doing these.
Yeah,
and stuff. It's been like a month since I released one, so I did a live stream on YouTube. And what I called it was paintball or airsoft is more toxic than paintball.
Oh, I saw that.
So during the conversation, I was like, I wanted to stir up some shit. So I'm like, paintball's for real men, airsoft's for pussies. Okay, y'all suck. And,
they do hurt more. They're a larger projectile, especially with those first strikes. I had my first strike. Let me grab one of them.
The conversation was. And the point we were making is that the toxicity in airsoft comes from, the cheaters, right? The no color hits. Now, who usually freaks out and loses their shit on the field? It's the younger generation. It's not, a 25-year-old typically. So in airsoft, why don't we have all these cheater videos like we do? Because paintball, sorry. In paintball, why don't we have all those cheater videos? Because paintball hurts worse, so the 12-year-olds don't want to go out there and shoot in paintball and get shot with it. So I think in paintball, you have older, you're not going to have 10, 12, 14-year-olds. Right. That shit hurts. And
this does sting a little bit. This does sting. I still have a scar from one of these.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's gone now for the most part, but it's like somewhere you can see like a little bit of a discoloration in there. It's still there for the most part, but yeah, I got shot with a first strike from about 10 feet away max, minimum, not even,
right?
Probably like 5, and I feel it hit. I'm like, oh shit, right? I'm like, neat, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they spin.
I think
they spin in flight.
They do.
So
they
that
hurt
plastic
worse.
just digs in.
Everyone knows, that's what it is. Everyone knows that it hurts worse. Paintball hurts worse than airsoft. And
right. You're about 135 psi roughly, whereas with airsoft HPA you're about 80 to 100 max. Yeah. And you can adjust the velocity, which also in turn adjusts the psi, but roughly your output is 135 psi.
I wonder what the joules are for
the joules. So paintball is 280 feet a second, so it's like under a joule, but the pain wise is equivalent to like 2-3 joules when it hits, even though you're still shooting the same velocity, but it's just a bigger projectile.
Yeah, and it's heavier, so
yeah,
it's
it stings more.
Doesn't joules measure the energy? So like it would be equivalent to the pain basically. So like how hard it's going to hit when it hits you, and yeah, definitely paintballs give you a bigger whack. Like, okay,
this one right here, 1.5 joules.
Yeah,
at 80 psi, which is nuts because it's just. I put in the MR bucking in it, and I was shooting because I was having some hop issues when I did actually chrono, so it was registering it under a joule. But once I actually got the hop down and everything like that, and got the nub correct, I chronoed it again. I'm like, oh, I'm biohazard because they had an extra chrono. I'm like, let me chrono this. Like 1, 2, 3, 1.5. So I'm only at 80 psi, which on all my other stuff. So on my Oracle 1, 80 psi is about a joule, roughly.
Right. Okay.
It's stock. This is a flat hop from the factory. I forgot to mention that. This is flat hop from the factory. It's a max style rotary. It has the BB latch. Oh, BB just fell out. It has a BB latch on it.
Yeah.
Just like a max hop, which I'm going to be getting a max hop for this guy. I love the stock hop up, but I feel like the MR bucking will benefit more from a max hop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that when I get paid. I'm going to get one. It's only like $69 for max hop for M4P. That's when I have to get the blue one. So, because I run HPA. I can't get the M4A, the red one, or anything like that.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm like shocked. Like, that's 1.5 joules. That's borderline marksman in our field.
So I wonder, so what is it in there? Like, what's the difference with that one? Why can it shoot? Like, how can it shoot that hot?
I think it's the bucking.
With
the bucking.
Less air.
I think it's the bucking.
Pressure.
The bucking. I think it's the bucking inside of it. It's got a tighter seal on the BB.
Oh, okay.
And so when it launches, it just. It's got a really good seal because with the N7. So red line, when you get your instruction manuals, they say to use the Mad Bull red bucking. But I talked to Airsoft Dad, Mike, and he told me he had the red bucking, the red shark, and he was still double feeding a shit ton with it. And that's one that Redline recommends. So get the Maple Leaf 70. There's shit ton of Maple Leaf 70 degrees out there. There's the Autobots, the Macarons, the Super Macarons. There's all different types of 70. So that's why I went to Deadshot. I'm like, which one do I get?
Yeah.
Which one do I get? He's like, you got to get the MR. Shit, you not. Just trust on that one.
Oh, so
the
Deadshot.
Accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like with stock nub.
Okay, go ahead.
So he's like stock nub. That shit lasers.
Really?
He tells me it beams.
So you
and he's not
Deadshot
wrong.
and May.
Yeah.
I had on here. You guys all play like in the same field or same area? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Same field.
That's right.
Yeah. So he's like MR 70 degree. I'm like, was 75 make it that much of a difference? Do 5 degrees more make a difference? Like, it actually does, believe it or not. Just get 70 degree. Stock nub, MR 70. And he was fucking right. This is not that long of a barrel. This is 200 something millimeters inner barrel.
Yeah.
It was floating. A target range, right? Because we have a tree that's all the way down probably about 100 yards out, right?
100 yards?
I aim it 100 yards. It's fucking far, right? Because we're in a forest as well.
Field. Yeah, it's 300 feet.
When I shoot that thing, I see the thing float all the way to the freaking back to that tree.
That's crazy.
It's freaking nuts.
That's crazy.
And this is, I'm just there. One side, I see a bunch of people at the car. Ding, 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 ding. And they're just raising their hands up. Because you can actually feel this. You can feel this. You can feel this.
Out. That's crazy.
And I'm only 80 psi, and it's shooting 1.5 joules, and it's a brand new chrono as well. It's not. They still have the case and everything. It's brand new chrono, so it's not like uncalibrated or nothing. They had it set to 3.2 gram BBs, which is what I use.
Yeah.
I only use 3.2s because they float.
Okay.
I actually put a mag of 2.8s in this, and 2.8s shoot just as well as 3.2s with this setup.
Yeah.
They shoot just as well, and they shoot far. They don't float, but they go far.
Yeah.
But you want it to float. That's perfect hop, is when they float and go far.
Yeah.
You can have it go far and not float. And that's all fine and dandy, but perfect hop is when it floats and goes the distance. And it was floating and going the distance. And this is not even that big. I mean, imagine if I had a tank on it, I'd be able to extend it out more, but I'm running the line. So I can get nice and tight CQB with this if I really want to. And it's just bang kill it 10 feet away if I want.
Yeah.
But no, I've been meaning to build this up. It's stock right now. It just sits. It just sits.
You don't use it yet?
No, I've used it one time. I just decided to bring this instead of my high kappa.
Yeah.
I used it. It's decent. It's about a joule on green gas. 1.1, something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm like, that's decent for just stock hop up, stock bucking, stock inner barrel.
Oh, those things are great out of the box, man. Honestly.
Yeah, they are. It's the problem is people don't like them. They think they're broken at the box because Action Army...
The hammer.
No. So Action Army out the box has the hop turned off. They give you a sheet when you buy the AAPL1 to turn the hop on before use because the hop is set to 0 from the factory.
Gotcha.
So you have to turn on the hop before you use. Otherwise, it's just going to roll out the barrel. It'll cycle. It's just a BB won't fly.
Yeah.
Because the hop nub is not pushing down on the bucking. And it's just not latching the BB in. It's not hop up buckings are kind of like the D10s, where paintball guns we have 2 D10s that hold the paintball in.
Yep.
Hop up bucking, since there's not a lot of mass for the BB.
Right.
The hop up buck, like if you hop, you're not going to get the distance you can get with most airsoft guns. So you have no hop up system. There's a WeTech pistol that doesn't have a hop up, but still shoots pretty decent as gas. I don't know how WeTech did it.
It's probably how they built it. It's probably like built in.
Yeah, there's no adjustable
hop up. It's probably got a hop
in
it. It just doesn't. It's not adjustable.
Right. It's just set. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And they say no hop up, but that's like with the spring pistols. Like my first airsoft pistol ever was a Taurus. It looked like an M9, but it was Taurus branded. It was a Springer, and I didn't know how to take it apart. It didn't say there was a hop up on it or nothing, but I still shot like 300 feet a second for a spring pistol, which is nuts.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the Taurus Spring M9. It's what we all started. Right. And there was like the clear Crossman 1911s, P99s, and all that. Like all backyard shooting guns, basically. That's all we had.
We got we got one just like that in the one of the mystery boxes.
Yeah,
it was the BOAs.
Okay.
And it was
the Evite.
Yeah, the M9 or M92, whatever it was. The Beretta.
Like a cyber gun. Yeah.
And
they even have the Desert Eagle.
It was a Springer, you know. I think we did a review on it, honestly.
Really?
I think we did. Like just kind of for fun, just messing around. I think we did it within the review of the actual, gun we were going to review, the rifle or whatever we got in the BOA. Yeah, we were just messing around. I think it was shit. The one we got was really flimsy, really, shit. And BB's rolling out the front if you tip it. And, of course, there's no way to adjust it. It's just real flimsy. And then I think it was like 110 or it was less than 200 FPS with .2s.
Oh my God.
It was like for little kids, Yeah. I guess.
So since we have this high Kappa here now.
Yes.
Here's the inside. So I have the cow washer and stoppers for the short stroke. I have the edge. I have the edge nozzle, the long legs.
Okay.
Which is what you need. So
what is that?
The nozzle, the edge nozzle, it's the blue one. And then I also pair it with the edge blowback unit as well.
Like what's good about the edge nozzle?
So the edge nozzle is called the
edge. Yeah.
So Edge is Airsoft Masterpiece. That's one.
Gotcha.
It's their secondary company. It's like one of their subsidiaries.
Okay.
So the edge nozzle, they have 2 types. They have the regular leg or the long leg. So if you short stroke your pistol, you want the long leg.
Okay.
If you don't have a short stroke kit, you want the regular one. So thing is, so this is just a 120 spring in here. It's 120. I believe my nozzle spring is 120 as well. I have good feeding. I have the flamingo bucking in this one, but the flamingo bucking is not great on high cap. But I'm going to switch it out for a unicorn, 60 degree. Or I might even go 80 degree since it's a pistol. So I might go 80 degree tournament.
Yeah.
So you want the unicorn one because the flamingo, it's amazing in the AAP, the flamingo one. This is what Airsoft Dad was telling me. He was telling me in the AAP, the pink flamingo, flawless. It's amazing. But in the high kappas, he didn't have much luck.
Okay.
And I played with it one day. I'm like, I got it installed. I'm like, you probably didn't install it right, yada, 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 since I'm more fluent in high kappa than him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you probably didn't install it right. I'm going to try it, And I had the same problem. Didn't really hop well. I also have a 6.01 barrel in here. I have a very Type 4 barrel in here.
Yeah.
6.01, so the BB is just like a little tiny bit of room, so I might have no hop because it's such a tight bore barrel, which is still what you want. You can still go halfway across the field. I just have to aim it up a little more, arc it a little bit.
So yeah, I was gonna say the if it's too tight, then it's gonna as it comes out the barrel, it's gonna be knocking on the barrel walls, and it's gonna knock off. It's gonna mess up your hop.
Well, sometimes
is that what
yes.
it would do?
So
Okay.
it's kind of like overboring. So kind of like the same principle with paintball for me. If you overbore that paintball, when it launches, it's gonna go like this through the barrel. If you're overbored,
right.
So you want to underbore. You want to tight bore it so it doesn't have that much play.
Gotcha.
So this is perfect. 6.01 is perfect. You can see. I'm going to show you the trigger pull on this. This is just. Oh, I don't have the safety on. I have the safety. So this is the trigger pull.
Woo.
That's it.
It's tight. That's tight.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's just stock. I have the Cow Trident spring in this. I have a Cow power regulator as well in the back strap. Because I upgrade everything. My last build was just a nozzle. The blowback unit, everything was stock.
Right.
So this is my first time actually building from the ground up for the most part. I still have the stock frame on here. The only difference is I have the gas pedal right here, so it helps with perfect. Yeah. It's a gas pedal thumb rest slide catch.
Right.
And so you see now it's perfect. It's nice and relaxed. It promotes good positioning with it.
Right.
And you just aim down the sight. But I can also do it if I'm really speed softened. I can just hold like this and just go like that and just snapshot out if I really want to. But I actually, because I play more outdoors and stuff like that, so if I'm using a pistol, I'm actually gonna extend it out and just, But yeah, I got to adjust more on that trigger. It's very gummy. It's very gummy. It's not like a.
Okay.
It's not. It's very gummy.
Yeah.
So
it's not.
If I'm like this, it's crisp like that, but
Uh-huh.
It's not clicking. You see?
Yeah.
I'm pulling it, but it's not clicking.
Right.
It's just something with the screw here. It's kind of stuck. So.
Oh, okay.
I gotta take it apart one day and just get that trigger out and adjust through the Allen key because it's hard to adjust with this trigger guard right here. Unless I saw this off, which you don't want to do that.
No.
It won't look that great. I mean, this already looks amazing already as it is.
Looks awesome.
Looks more like an M9 on the bottom now, but it's still because of the way this trigger guard is. But it's nice and comfortable. It's nice and comfortable for me. But
yeah, it looks beautiful.
It shoots nice for the most part, aside from not having hop because of the bucking. It's just in the high kappas, the flamingos don't work well. In the AAPs, they're really made for the AAPs, I think.
Okay.
A lot of people go unicorn for high kappas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, that shit's amazing. I still have the occasionally like a misfeed once, where it will dry fire once and it will refeed. But I think it's just whatever it is. It's kind of like the N7s. The N7s will. No matter what bucking you use in the N7s, they still double feed since this is mechanical. There's no dwell. There's no solenoid dwell. So it can't tell you, okay, you're closing off after this much.
Yeah.
So I get per EPM, maybe couple double feeds.
I was going to say,
try it out.
Does it double feed on different mags, different brand mags?
I only run EPM ones. And I might have with the Max. I hear with the Max Hop, they don't like EPM ones very well. But they do like the other like EPMs, like the originals. But the EPM ones they have a hard problem with. But I get like, I'll be like, it really only happens when I'm going like this.
Real fast.
Spamming it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If I'm like, it's fine. Well, if I'm just laying down a lane, being a back player, laying down a lane, it will double feed.
Okay.
Because, like I said, there's no dwell, there's no solenoid dwell, and there's no FC to say, hey, this is how much air you keep in. It's a blow forward spool. It's mechanical.
Okay.
Well, it's good though. It's reliable.
If like the spring tension in a magazine would make a difference.
Sometimes it does. EPM ones are very, very because they hold 250 and they're such a high feeding. They're both a high feeding.
Yeah.
Rate. Like you can put an EPM one. And put a Polar Star jack at 50 and it will feed everything.
Okay.
Yeah. They're high feeding. I tried it with my Wolverine. I think I set the Oracle 1 a little too high on the RPS because it wasn't feeding every round when we were allowed to do full auto. So I keep it in binary though. I don't ever go full auto. Binary is the same as full auto, but it's just more work.
Yeah.
It's like paintball on a ramp. It's like a ramp, basically. But no, this is nice and light. That's heavy, shockingly. My Euro build is shockingly heavy. This is nice and light because this barrel is carbon fiber. This outer barrel. Is it carbon? It's real carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It's real carbon fiber.
Those are so light, dude.
And it's aluminum because it's MTW billet.
Right.
That's why it has the MTW Inferno in it and not just a regular one.
It's got to be
It's MTW billet. So I can still pop this pin and it opens up like a real AR, folds over.
Yeah.
I might actually do that. It's my Allen keys. So yeah, it folds open like a real AR-15. You just pop the pin like a normal, like an actual... There we go.
Now what are you talking about doing now?
It folds open like a real AR.
Right.
Like that.
But what are you talking about changing?
What'd
you want to do?
Oh, I just wanted to pop the pin out, actually, so I can show you.
I got you, yeah.
So this is how it folds open like a real AR.
Yeah.
So
easy access.
As you know, most AEGs can't do that because of the gearbox. There's no gearbox.
No.
There's no gearbox.
No,
it's just this.
Yep.
There's no gearbox for it. It's just everything inside there is your contacts for that go onto the yoke.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the
MTWs.
The HPAs is the
gearbox. The MTW specifically. So the Wolverine MTW specifically.
That's true.
It's more realistic.
Because we took the So most people they go from an AEG to HPA and it still has the gearbox.
Right.
Set up in just no gears.
Right, it's just an engine drop in and then you have your Trego unit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't fold it over like a real AR. That's only the Wolverines can do that, since their MTW stands for Modular Training Weapon.
Okay.
So you can still have that familiar feel, pulling it over like this. Still have this bolt used as a hinge.
Right.
It's everything you would think so, but this is more speed soft, so it's... They do sell, you can twist this off. That's how you put a stock on it. You can get a drop stock for this, and you can put MTW spec stuff on it, since it is an MTW billet.
Right.
But why would you do that with something that's made for what it's made for?
No, that thing looks awesome. I wouldn't even change it. It looks badass.
And the fact that it's flat hot from the factory, I mean, I still have to hold like a paintball gun. This is normal for me. It's just natural. So the problem is I still aim it, tilt it a little bit.
Oh.
Like paintball gun, and I forgot BB's will hook left or hook right if you switch it like this.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I keep forgetting I have to be straight.
Because of the hop, right?
Yeah, the hop, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's nice, though. If I have a little kid that decides he wants to be bold and he's not calling his hit and he's hiding behind a tree, ding, 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 and the BB's hooked around the tree. They hook around the tree. It's like gun where you go like that. It's like the gun where they go like that and hook the bullet. Same idea. You just
you curve the bullet.
Yeah, and
if somebody wanted a challenge, if somebody was really played a lot of airsoft all the time, whatever, and they're just like, I'm kind of getting bored, they could turn their hop up on more, right?
Yeah, and make it go,
and then they would just have to aim sideways all the time, down. Whichever way to try to hit the target.
Yeah.
Try to hit the enemy. That would be funny.
Yeah. No, that only saved that for little kids that want to be bold. And it's okay, they want to hide behind the tree, even though I pulled a lane on them as they were running, and I got them. They want to hide behind the tree, right? I'll go like this, really aim it to the side so I get the maximum hook.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all 5 people just go, whoop. And they'll raise their hand. They look around well, where did they come from? They look to the left first. Then they look and I go, hi. They're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I hooked the BB.
The bullet.
I did. It curved the BB. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And I see a lot of kids, obviously with pistols, they go like this. Obviously, because they see in like GTA and stuff like that, they go like this. I'm like, no, you're gonna hook the BB that way. You're gonna hook the BB that way. This not. You can't do it like New York City with this. Come on. No, this one's more appropriate for that. This one's more appropriate for that. But like, you can't do that. You have to aim.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, because the BB's gonna hook. Otherwise, you're not gonna hit shit. And it's like
even in real firearms, man. Like somebody that's not very experienced with,
they're gonna do this. They're gonna do this right away.
If they do that, they're not hitting shit, bro.
No,
only
because they don't have that
control. Shoot like that are guys that maybe special forces or whatever that had put down like 100,000 rounds through their gun,
right?
And understand, like they could not even look. Just I saw this dude. I saw this video yesterday. This dude was doing what was he using? It might have been I don't know if it was an AR or a 50 Beowulf, but
okay.
He for the video purpose, whatever, he throws the bullet, so he pulls the bolt back, okay?
Yeah.
Throws the bullet in the air, it's flipping, right? And he catches it in the
chamber.
Catches it right in there, bro. Like facing the right way. And all in one motion, it slams in, he slams the bolt closed and shoots. And he's got it set up where he's got like tannerite down there. Yeah. And like 2 or 3 things of tannerite, and he's got colored powder. So it's like red, white, and blue or something like that. And the thing blows up. I mean, it's a pretty cool video. Actually, in that same video, later on, at the end, he puts an attachment on under, like an underbarrel attachment.
Yeah.
And it looks like this. I've never seen it before. It looks like this contraption. It's almost like it's probably about 6 inches deep. It's cut into a triangle. So when it goes on, when it mounts, it looks like an upside down triangle. And I can't remember the name of the thing on it. But anyway, it's a flamethrower. So he's shooting, and then he goes, and pulls this other thing and hits a button, and his flame comes out about 6 or 10 feet. It's like,
it's crazy.
It's cool, bro. Hell yeah. Anyway.
Fucking hell. No, it's like going from this, where I have a thumb safety or a thumb rest like this, teaching me proper firearm pointing. Trying to do the same thing with this, and it feels weird. I'm like, what? It feels weird because I don't have that gas pedal is what they call it. Call it the gas pedal. I'm like, I don't have the gas pedal here, so I'm still like. And these are Glock based. These take Glock mags. These are Glock based platform. Yep. So Glocks, as you know, they're really big on like finger placement, and if you hit it, it goes the same with the Airsoft. I mean, I've never shot a real Glock before, so don't take it. But I've noticed like if I'm not holding it right, I'm missing my target by 5 feet or 5 inches.
Huh. Okay.
I literally, for me, playing pistol with a gas only, it's very weird because I try and aim and I end up going a little too high because it's just how it is for me. So I am snap shooting and I end up missing the guy. I'm like, what? I forgot I'm not using a tip X, so I can't really do anything. So this is different. I keep forgetting when I want to play pistol only. If I'm not using my HPA, I don't have a thing to press down to give me guidance. I'm missing in a snap battle. I'm not winning a snap battle. Like, there was a guy yesterday, and we had a couple guys in the thing. I was about to bunker the guy with a pistol in my air. Give me your pistol. I disconnect my airline. All right, I'm hold this real quick. I'm going to go in with the pistol. He lets me use his Glock. It's built, too.
Yeah.
And I'm about to turn the corner. I just see BBs fly to my right. I'm like, oh, shit. And there's a guy there, right? Yeah. I didn't know there's a guy there. I'm like, peeking, teasing him, and there's just BBs come out. I go, dunk, dunk, and then they're going, boom, right away. I'm like, oh, okay, I call it. I get shot in the arm right away. So I'm not used to playing with gas blowback pistol. Like, I'm not used to playing with gas mags. That's not something I ever do. My first ever pistol was a high cap, and I ran HPA on it right away. I don't know anything else.
Is it slower response, you think?
For me, it just feels weird because I don't have a mag pressed up against my forearm to help me with stability. So if I'm like this, I don't. I'm. You see?
Yep.
Versus a.
Right.
See, now I have some placement right here. Now see, I'm. Yeah.
It's like a prop that's gives you stability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's weird to me.
Yeah.
And plus, I never use pistols anymore anyway because I'm always using a
You don't
rifle.
need to. Yeah, you don't need
No,
to.
this is CQB length. I can just take
Exactly.
off this tracer. And take off the tracer. This is all I have.
Yep.
And there's no orange tip on it too. It's still short, but I like it long. Pause. You see, you got it. Pause.
I was gonna say, okay.
See, I usually keep a longer barrel setup. That way, if I'm not aiming down the front, I can aim down the side. I have a point of contact right here.
Okay.
If I need a snap, I have a point of contact.
Gotcha.
So I use the tip of the barrel as like a pointer almost. It's just a bad habit from paintball.
Yeah, I mean it's not really bad. It's it's useful, right?
For how I play, yeah, it is.
Yeah, for you. Yep.
It's for little kids because our park is under 18. You have to wear a full paintball mask. If you're 17 or younger, you have to wear a full face paintball mask, like a dye mask or something like I wear. I wear it for choice because my teeth aren't that great due to the alcohol and stuff like that. So I just don't want to get shot with a 0.5 gram BB from Vietnam in the face. Even with mesh, that's going to dent the mesh and go through, and I'm probably going to hurt my teeth.
So
bad.
We've talked about this before. You know, it's come up on the podcast a handful of times about wearing full face protection, and I'm really glad that a lot of these fields do that for minors.
Yes,
minors should have to wear full face protection.
They should.
Because these even with some of these limits are lower in like indoor than outdoor, I guess.
Right.
It's still at 20 feet. 1 joule still
beat
the shit out of your teeth, bro.
And then look what it does to the arm.
Right.
Yeah, imagine that to your
That's
jaw.
what I'm saying. Like it's a good rule. It's a good rule. I'm glad they do that with minors.
Yeah, anybody 18 or under 18 has to wear a full seal paintball mask, full face. I wear it for other reasons. I don't play like a real speed softer unless I'm actually playing a speed field or something, which we have an outdoor speed field now. So it's outdoors, not indoor speed QB, but I can go with 1.5 joules and bunker the shit out of someone if I want to. Because we don't, when you play the speed field, we don't normally play, because it was my first time playing, and Josh Deadshot plays it all the time, right? Whenever we play Turmoil, he does speed, because that's his thing. He's a pistol-only speed softer. Okay. So he tells me, usually we don't do MAD. We ask if everybody's fine with that, and everybody agrees. Yeah. Because all of our fields, it's the only time is when we play Turmoil, where we have that speed field on the side. The only time where we don't have to do a bang rule with a rifle is on that speed field.
Nice.
So we all agree on no MED. And it's just how it is. I had Deadshot was getting photo. Like, I see that Deadshot's like really down low on the ground with his pistol shooting at another guy that we all know. He hasn't been on the podcast. His name is Dom. Okay. He's a big guy. So he's gunfighting with Dom right now. Mac is getting photos. I'm like, oh, I see. Right? So I go, and they're the only two left besides me. So I go around. I go through the middle of the building. I go to the bunker he's at. I go around, and at 1.5 joules, just pelt him with freaking 3.2 grams from like 5 feet away maximum. I just ding, 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 ding. And he has a nice crater on his side.
Oh shit! Who's this? Dom? You said?
Dom, yeah, big Dom. He's got a nice crater on the side, and
I'll have to invite him on and talk about that.
Oh my god!
Does he have an Instagram?
He does. I forgot it though.
Suck.
No, it's just that only time where I can actually go. It's like 7 rounds in, because I normally, when I play Airsoft, I don't really push up or anything like that. I go maybe halfway, and I'll just tickle people from afar. Yeah. With this stuff, but it's like we got in the speed field, and it's like the same as speedball is what they say. So after a few rounds, I get back into okay, this is how we're doing. We're on the break. They go 3, 2, 1. I'm like, and I get 2 of them off the bat. right? I just sweep the rest of me. It was 3-on-3s. It was 3-man.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, or I didn't go, and I just go ding 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 ding, and we trade on the last guy, so we both get out. But it was still game over, and we won because I took him out first.
Okay.
So, speed feels fun. I'm gonna play it more. It's the only time where I can use a rifle and not have to bang kill at 10 feet. So, why wouldn't I play it? I was always weary of it because I seen it. It's a little small. I'm like, you know. But
so if instead of having a bang rule, can they just if they don't have a bang rule, like indoor,
okay,
wouldn't people just typically like wear something to protect their face and the back of their head?
I mean,
everywhere else, like I can see the back of your head. That's going to hurt like hell. At 5
it does.
feet.
Yeah,
I've
gotten shot in the back of the head before.
You're right. So somebody could wear, a backwards ball cap, or
People wear beanies. People wear beanies.
Yeah, beanies. Full
yeah,
face
but
protection.
We're playing outside in the heat, so why would you wear a beanie?
Yeah, I know, right?
I see that for the winter.
But they do have, stuff that you can just.
There's
like
one mask out there. There's one mask out there, and there's two types. It's a Flex 8 by JT, so they have a regular coverage or they have a full coverage. So the full coverage, if you look up the Flex 8 full coverage, it's a Flex 8 mask and it has like a helmet thing, right?
Flex
and it goes
8?
in the back.
The number
Flex 8, yeah. Full coverage.
EX2?
FLEX8. So
oh no, that's not it. Okay.
It's a JT. It's a JT is what it is. So it's a JT Flex 8. And they either have a full coverage you can buy, it costs like $100.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or you can get the regular paintball mask and it costs like $85, $90.
Okay.
And they're both really good. I had a pair of Flex 8s at one point. And I built it green frame. It was like a dark green frame. It had the green and blue lens, the haze lens I call it, right? Green and blue. And it's black and green bottom. And I put a Ruthless PB nug run strap. So it's just a strap that had marijuana nugs all over it.
Gotcha.
And so that was the build, It was a stoner build. But It was great. It would have been good for Airsoft. I'm mad. Right? I think so. Let me watch the stream. Let me click it real quick. Yeah, that's the full coverage, yeah. And so that one, I think you can get the JT fan inside of that too as well.
That looks badass, bro.
Yeah, and that's that'd be good for kids that want to play Speed QB and stuff like that.
Who wouldn't want to wear that? I mean, that looks really, really cool.
So I had my bottoms for my Flex 8s were the reverse of that, and they were cut. So they were ended right there past the bolt there. They ended right there. And gotcha. I just would place the hardware and put regular JT ears on it. So a lot of people like to cut those so they can put JT ears on them. Yeah, Flex 8, it's like the perfect Airsoft mask because it's hard. It's not flexible at all, shockingly.
Yeah.
They call it a Flex 8, but it's not that.
Oh, they call it Flex and it's not. Okay.
It's just the generation. But it's like the perfect Airsoft mask. You see the venting is not that big. It's still very breathable, shockingly. I don't know how. It's still as breathable as a Pro Flex, but I don't know how.
I mean,
it is. But it's hard. It's like a plastic.
Though.
Yeah, but it's also a plastic as well, too. So BB's not going through that.
No.
That's like the perfect, if you want to get a paintball mask and customize it, you want to wear a Pro Flex on field, but you don't want BBs to go through your vents, you get a Flex 8.
Dude, that's badass.
I'm mad I kind of traded mine, but the guy was in need because his shit got stolen from a paintball park, so he needed a mask, so I just helped him out. So I hope to get another one like that.
Yeah, that looks cool
doubt
as hell, bro.
Yeah, I hope to get another Flex 8, just even a base one.
They're about $100.
Okay. Yeah, I hope to get a Flex 8, just like a base one though, like that. I mean, just different lens.
Yeah.
Just black with gray or just purple black. I don't care.
I mean, this almost looks like the Master Chief helmet.
Yeah, I know. I wish you just put an orange lens on it, you got it. But
for real.
I'm not a big fan of the whole full coverage, Maybe for the visor, that's a cool visor because it goes over your head. You don't need to wear a headband. But that's why I wear a headband for frontal headshots,
Uh-huh.
But I don't wear a beanie or anything like that, so it's just uncomfortable for me. I don't know. It's something I save for the winter or for the cold. Or the wet.
if they come in the right size where it's big enough, whatever, and it's not squeezing your head when you put it on.
Right, it's adjustable. Yeah, it's adjustable completely. But it's hard to adjust the strap with that back piece.
Gotcha. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. It's decent. It's just whatchamacallit, I just have been playing this for so long, both paintball and airsoft, that
I mean, you're not going to get, most people aren't going to get shot in the back of the head. Yeah, you're not going to get shot in the back of the head very often.
No, that only happens if you're walking out, someone shoots you on accident.
Yeah,
they think you're not. They think you're still in. That's happened multiple times. I remember one time I had my hand up though, and I actually freaked out. It was like 23 or something like that. I had my hand up, barrel stock on my gun, my ears disengaged, my hopper's turned off. Right. I have my hand up. Ref is motioning me towards to go there. I see this guy just aiming his gun at me. Right, just tracing me. Right.
What? Why?
He's just tracing me. Right. I'm going, and I just feel from my left side, just and he just went to me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm out. Do you not see my fucking hand up? What the fuck? I'm just like screaming at him. I'm like, who the fuck did that? I'm like, this is the only time I really outburst. Like, I don't ever outburst on field. I'm usually very patient. But it's just like, I saw this guy tracking me the whole time for no reason.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck, man?
So what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He didn't even come up to me after. I didn't see him the rest of the fucking day.
What a dick.
He fucking left. Good riddance. I haven't seen his ass since.
Stay the fuck
out. I'm not
okay?
necessarily the skinniest guy. I'm not the smallest guy either. I'm not the skinniest guy.
If he would have come around the corner, didn't know you were, like just
just whatever.
Split second, saw you and shot, and like, oh, okay, shit, you're out.
Sorry,
okay.
People say all the time, "Oh, water in the bridge."
If he's sitting there like he has the whole time to watch you walking,
he was tracking me with his gun the whole time.
What a dickhead. Okay.
I wonder if he was thinking I was playing the dead man walk, because people do that sometimes where they like.
I've heard a couple people on this. They've admitted, they're telling me like, "Oh yeah, I did this," and I'm like, bro,
how can you dead man walk if you're in the middle of the field though? Dead man walk only happens on the side. I was middle of the field.
Yeah, I know. But the other thing too is you had your hand up. But I've seen the guys that told me they did it was they were, trying to sneak back in the other spawn or some shit. And they walked casually, but they didn't put their hand up. They just walked casually right past all these dudes. And I'm like, that's fucking shady, bro. Don't do that shit.
Right. No, dead man walk. It works when you're on the side.
Okay.
It's usually where they come from is on the side. I was in the middle. Because
people do that? Is this a common thing? People try to do that?
Sometimes. It's very rare, though. Like you said, you've had only a couple.
It's rare.
It's usually an open play thing. It's usually an open play thing.
It's not a cool way to play, okay?
No. And so the way this turmoil field was set up, you have the middle, right? You have the middle of the field, and you have, let's say I'm walking this way, you have the gas station, the condos on my left side, and then you have the other stuff on the right. But this guy was in like one of the condos, and I was walking. I had my hand up. I was like head on swivel too, as well.
Yeah.
And plus, my lens is a 260 degree, so I can see peripheral. I see him just going like this. I see him just go like this.
Mm-hmm.
Then next thing you know, I have like 10 in my side. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's what it was, and I freak out. Like, I don't ever scream on field or nothing or freak out anybody. I'm all about growing the sport. I'm not trying to make my scary looking ass fucking with all my shit look even more scary.
If this guy that did this ever finds this podcast and hears this story, you can come on and defend yourself if you want. But
fuck yourself.
Right
How about
now,
that?
You sound like a little bitch, okay?
Yeah. This was like last year.
Quit playing
I
like
haven't seen him since.
Quit playing like that. Yeah.
No. And I was out. Until then, until you defend yourself, big fuck you. Big fuck you.
Now, for
real. Like, it was a dick move. I was out completely. I had my hand up and everything was up. Right. I still have scars from it too, because it was like 5-10 feet away. Like that window in the middle is like not right there. It's like,
so it's that close. There is no excuse. There's no way
you can see me. Why are you tracking me?
He sees your hands up.
I thought it was one of my buddies, because one of my buddies was on their team, and they pull something like that just as a joke.
Yeah,
I asked him, like, "Did you do that to me?" He's like, "No, man, I didn't do that. I don't play like that. You fucking, what are you doing? What are you asking me if I did that for?" I'm I'm like, oh, because someone did that and it looked like you're freaking Proflex X. That's why. He's like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. He's like, it wasn't me.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's like,
maybe it was. They were
wasn't
just
him.
fucking around.
It wasn't him. No, because he wasn't even in that. He said he saw it happen. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He saw it happen. He wasn't at the gas station. So I took his word for it because he's not one to fucking lie like that. And the fact that he still shows up to Paintball Explosion, he doesn't leave like a bitch and not come back after doing that.
Now,
I haven't seen him come back in a year.
When was the last time you played?
Paintball? Paintball.
Paintball
or
Airsoft?
Airsoft was Sunday.
Okay.
Airsoft was Sunday. And that's how I was able
to say,
get this...
oh, that's
get
right.
this
Yeah,
thing.
you got that recently.
Yeah.
What was it as busy as it has been? Was it busier? Do you think
it was busy? It was nice out. It was nice out.
Airsoft
it was like
is still gaining popularity, or
I think so. We have a good amount. It really depends on the weather, on how many people come out.
Right.
It was nice, 73 people wearing hoodies, so it was pretty busy. We had about probably 100 people.
So over the last 6 months that you've been playing, do you think it's still gaining popularity? Like people are still...
I think so.
People are still coming out? Okay.
And a lot of people that were playing paintball have also tried Airsoft. So like one of my teammates, he's a ref at the park, and he's also on Animals as well. He was playing Airsoft. He doesn't have his own Airsoft gun, but he borrowed Head Ref's Airsoft gun as well. Head Ref at the park is named JJ. He plays paintball and Airsoft.
Okay.
But no, and the other guy, his name is Nightwing. His name's Thomas, but he goes by Nightwing. But he plays paintball, but he had a rodent Airsoft tank because he was playing Airsoft that day. So
yeah,
he just had one. So he was playing Airsoft that day, and he was in that 3v3 with me as well.
Oh, okay.
And he was having problems with the drum mag. It was one of the electronic ones where you press a button, it winds up instead of pulling it. I'm like, I just give him my mag. I'm like, here, just have a mag. It's 250 rounds. It's like the drum mag, basically. And he didn't shoot much of it because I was calling off, like, we had a little guy, speed softer as well. He doesn't really drink water a lot and stuff like that. And I tell him every time you gotta hydrate. So we went over. This happened after it happened. So I rush him. I go like that underneath. I go ding, 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 like that.
Yeah. And
I shoot him in the shoulder and the back. And then afterwards, he just, like, has some acid reflux puking stuff. And I'm like, oh, my God. You gotta get... He's like, I'm not...
He starts puking
after like probably 30 minutes after, but it was like coincidental because it happens before where he's like gotten so hot playing Airsoft and he just dehydrated. So I'm like, you gotta drink water. Let's go off field and stuff. Like, I want to.
Well, what was he thought, or was he saying that it was because you shot him so close?
No, it was dehydration. He said.
Yeah.
So he wanted to play the last half.
Throw up from getting shot from an airsoft gun.
No, unless it's like 1.5 joules
in the throat, maybe like or it makes you cough. Or something. I don't know.
It was just coincidental that it happened.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the last half of Turmoil," and both the rest were like, "No, you should sit out." And I even told him you should sit out. He's like, "Oh, it's only the last half." I'm like, "No, let's go. You need to get water and stuff like that." Yeah. So he's like, "Let's go out. Let's take our mag out." I'm like, and I asked the guy who lost ref, I'm like, can I get my bag back? I'm going out. And he gives me it. It's barely even used. He doesn't shoot much.
Okay.
So I'm like, thank you and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm going out with a little man. I got inside too because there's an indoor concession stand, then there's the outdoor one as well. So we go inside. I get 2 Mountain Dew Energies, 2 Aqua Gatorades, and whatever. And I give him one of the Gatorades. I'm like, here, have this, but sip it. Don't chug it. Slowly. And I tell him, come in the shade. Don't go near your stuff after. Just place your stuff down and just go in the shade.
Yeah.
Where I'm at. And I'm like, sip it. Whatever. He gives me his change. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, thanks. So I have $3 in cash.
So you play both Airsoft and paintball.
Yeah.
And so what do you think about paintball? Is it still as busy? Like more, are there more new people trying out paintball?
It's mostly rentals. They don't come back. They're just like all one and done. They tried it because they were at a birthday party or something like that. But
gotcha.
I tend to play paintball more overnight. Like if I'm doing open play, I'll just do Airsoft. Airsoft's just my thing for open play because I save more money. Right. Because it's bring your own BBs, so you don't have to buy the field BBs if you don't want to. I only buy field BBs if I have none and I need to in a pinch. I just have a bottle of threes.
Yeah.
But I bring your own BBs, so I save the cost of that. I just Uber and I pay the entry. For paintball, I'm on a team. I get a discount, so I only pay $71 for the day after a discount, because when you're on a team and you buy a case, you get free entry.
Gotcha.
But so I only spend $71 for the day, but it's still expensive for the most part.
Sure.
Because it's paintballs, they're more expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
And so really, I only say, okay, I'm gonna just play paintball the month leading up to big game and on big game. So we have 2 big games at Paintball Explosion that are mandatory for our team. It's Clowns vs. Zombies and World at War.
Okay.
Any other big game that's happening around, it's optional. You don't have to. But the 2 big ones at our home field is one you have to go to. So I'll just play paintball. If it's like September, like I won't be playing Airsoft once September hits. So this is probably the last weekend next weekend is probably the last weekend I'll be playing Airsoft for a while. So I'll just be playing paintball instead.
Yeah.
Because I need to just get back into it, get the feel of how the guns shoot and how like the pain and stuff like that. Just gotta get used to it. Because if I play a little bit, if I play indoor speedball where I'm getting, like I've gotten bruised before and I've gotten holes in my shirt from paintballs because we traded a bunker.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of it. I'll play indoor speedball, so I get that rapid fire, just like they do during big games, because people overshoot during big games. It's just a natural thing to do. You buy like 6 cases of paint for yourself and you just go all out basically.
Yeah.
You'll have people bring like boombox speakers and just strap it on their back and they'll run with freaking hard bass playing or something like that. There's one guy, he was on our team and he had he was playing for half the day and he's also doing photography as well. His name is Jordan.
Yeah.
He had a speaker on him and he was playing like Ghost BC and some other cool stuff, and Ghost Main and everything like that. I'm like, oh, it was like before the first alarm sounded, it was hyping it up and stuff like that. And I was just like vibing, Ghost Main and stuff like that. He's playing Mercury Retrograde and all that. I'm like, oh, I was just vibing before I go and start.
Yeah.
And this is just the biggest fun time ever. So there's just people stuck inside the containers. They're shooting us. We're shooting inside. They're getting hit. They're not calling it. So we're just like, okay, I grab a couple of guys. We peek out and we just go, and we're just ramping this guy that won't go out like 12.5 rounds a second. Because that's what the cap is for big game, is 12.5 rounds a second.
Yeah.
And that's fast for a paintball gun.
Yeah, that's really fast. So
this
dude's getting pelted?
Yeah, and he's not calling out.
What?
Because he's like wiping it. Because that's what happens in big game. So many players, you just wipe it. It's whatever. It's just big game. It's just big scenario paintball.
Yeah.
It just happens. So it's our job. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I lead just a freaking assault on this dude. And I have my stuff set to 12.5. So that's like 35 RPS for... It's the same amount of pain.
Yeah.
If you get drilled at 35 RPS with Airsoft, it's the same amount of pain as 12.5.
It's fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So... These kids are lucky that they aren't playing back in the days of like Angel A1 flies and everything, where you could go at 40 rounds a second.
That's funny.
Yeah. So they won't. They're lucky they haven't played it when you can go like 30 rounds a second in a tournament, because they wouldn't be able to survive that these days.
For real.
No, it's like my buddy had an A1 fly and he still has it somewhere. And he's like, oh, I can get that to like 40 rounds a second with my rotor. I'm like, you're fucking nuts. I would not be able to. He's like, they need to bring it back. He talks like this. He's like, they need to bring it back. They should bring back the 30 rounds a second. I'm like, no.
That's funny.
I play paintball and I play speedball. I'm not dealing with 40 rounds a second.
Right.
I'll go 24. That's my max.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's funny, man.
Yeah, that's my max is like 24. That's still a lot.
So what do you got planned for the next till the end of the year? You got some big games for the paintball you were talking about,
just
right?
one, just in October.
Just one more left. Okay.
One more left, and then there's Airsoft. I don't go milsims. I don't do those 2-day events. It's just I'm not big into camping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I did a 2-day big game one time over at Blast Camp in Indiana called Mad Max, but we didn't camp. With the people I was playing with, we didn't camp. We just finished off the day. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings and went home. I got plastered, obviously, both days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
my first sip of real moonshine was at Mad Max.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't know how strong that actually was.
Yeah.
So it was White Lightning. So it wasn't just any moonshine. It was White Lightning mixed with
Yeah,
orange
buddy.
juice.
There you
Mixed
go.
with orange juice. And so it tastes like an orange dreamsicle, shockingly. And I just take like, not a sip, but I take about like that,
gulp
right?
it. Yeah, like a shot.
A gulp. Like, it was like
Mhm.
probably like a shot and a half worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, 5 seconds later, I'm like, whoa.
Oh,
you know?
dude, it hits you
like,
fast, bro.
And then my buddy's like, oh, you want a beer? I'm like, sure. And he's like, gives me beer. And I'm like, it's Annie here. It's my favorite one at the time. And I just pound that down.
Yeah.
And then we go to B-Dubs. And I drink 2 things of Zombie Dust since we're in Indiana. And that's like Three Floyds is the local brewery over there.
Okay.
They have Zombie Dust on tap. And I just drink 2 bottles of that. And they had the actual Zombie Dust glass and everything, like Three Floyds glass.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so I had 2 of those. And I was just plastered Saturday night.
Oh,
I just like fall asleep in my buddy's car. I was like,
at least you didn't throw up.
No, I just passed out.
Hell yeah.
These are my drinking days, so I had a tolerance a little bit. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So you're doing good, man. You got you're sober. So how long you said? A year?
Year next month.
A year for almost a year for alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
A few months for
e-cigarettes.
Vape. And then weed is almost a year as well?
Next November will be 1 year.
This coming okay, so in a couple months. Okay.
Yeah. So like
nice.
10 months.
Yeah, because dude, it's about to be September already. Okay.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. Football season.
Yep.
I mean, for me, I watch football. All right, brother. Man, it's been awesome having you on again. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. This is my first official recording since I got back from Utah and all the other stuff that was going on in August.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's good to be back and had a good time, man, talking with you. It's good.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother. Well, tell everybody where they can find all your stuff again. And if anyone in the area, heads up, if you're in Illinois, in his area, and you got a bike, and you go to some of these bike shows or whatever, hit him up. He'll get you set up with some good photos.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
My nice little
tell everybody
here.
where they can get all your stuff.
So I have 2 Instagrams. I have one for my paintball and airsoft. So my paintball and airsoft is animals_carbon, and then my photography for motorcycles is carbon_compound. So you can find both content on there. Once we actually get more pics up, because Mac did take a few photos during the speed match. I'll have a couple of those up on my airsoft paintball Instagram, so you should see those with my N7. So that was technically its debut run. The first time I ran with it last week, it was just having issues. It was just a test run almost. So
awesome.
It was the first debut run was this weekend.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you being on, man. It's great talking with you again. You have a good night.
All right. I will. Thank you.
All right. Until next time, brother.